Good morning and welcome to Speak Onstage. My name is Dave Crane. It's always a pleasure to have you here, broadcasting live from Dubai. It's 10 a.m. in the morning, and I believe in the afternoon in India and Pakistan. It's probably breakfast time, about 7 o'clock for you if you're based in the UK, and if you're in the US, it's a whole range of different time zones. But the odds are you're fast asleep, but you'll be waking up just in time to watch this in the middle of the night. No? Or maybe you can watch it when you get up and have your breakfast anyway. This show is dedicated to helping people to become more effective at speaking. If you don't know me, Google me. My name is Dave Crane. I'm an international keynote speaker and I train people to be international keynote speakers. Very easy to say that when you're stuck in an elevator. And the whole point about it is the ability to think differently. Since we've been in lockdown, the world has changed dramatically. And many people are still thinking it's exactly the same. Many people are just wondering, hold on, my job should still be there. People are still existing, so therefore the stuff I used to do should still work. No. My particular area of expertise is about speaking, because speaking has a mindset about marketing and communication. So one of the things that you really need to be considering is, what does your brand mean now? What is your business now? Who's your market? Have they changed? Are they looking for different things? Are people considering that they won't deal with your kind of stuff anymore, but there is something that you can provide that everybody wants? Those are a whole lot of questions to be addressed. I'll be looking at that, and also if you're of a slightly older persuasion, and you can see here the grey hair, I'm not messing with that, then also you may be considering, well, unless I own my own business, I might be on the scrap heap. Nobody's going to employ somebody who needs more money for medical, more money for insurance. You've got dependents, you've got a big house, you've got all these different things that you get from having been around for a long time. Nobody seems to want my experience. There is a solution. And if you're intrigued, I'll be sharing it with you in this show. So make sure you have a cup of tea. And yes, I do have my Christmas mug. Why? Because it's made of China. And it makes coffee taste absolutely delicious. Even better. So I will be sharing a ton of stuff with you throughout the entire show. Stick around and enjoy. This is Speak On Stage. So as always, I want your thoughts, your comments. Please leave them as we go. If I don't address them straight away, I will come back and address them. We're broadcasting live across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Periscope, which leads to Twitter as well. I'm not going out on TikTok for various reasons. All I will say is watch this space, and I'm not prepared to dance. That's number 2 reasons why I'm not going to do it. For now, anyway, we shall see. So if you're on any of those platforms, then let me know, because I can see where you are when you answer and you send your comments and thoughts and questions in. And I'm here for you. Every single weekday we go out live. Please feel free to ask me anything, as long as it's about business and about the stuff that I do. Not, how do you do your hair? How old are you? And why are you so obsessed with Marvel movies? That's a different thing. But you probably are as well. So we've got loads of stuff coming up in this, and also I want to share with you some incredible tips and ideas. So if you're enjoying it so far, do not go anywhere else. Feel free to share it, bring your friends, and tell them that this is a place to be. Let's get into the nuts and bolts next. So, wonderful idea for you today. I did mention earlier, if you're slightly older, then there's a couple of challenges that you may already have considered, which is, as you get older, people don't really think of you as, well, we've got a workforce that's got lots of different age groups in it. We've got boomers, we've got millennials, we've got Generation Z, Generation X. And the idea was that the millennials would take over, but they don't want to. They want to do their own thing. So what we have is an incredibly diverse workforce. Not enough black people, that's a different conversation. But they all have to coexist together. Now, that would be one project, especially how we take on digital and evolve with that. That's another project. And then the coronavirus came along and just basically wiped so many industries by saying, if you're not online, you're not digital, you're not reinventing, and you're not essential supplies, which includes food delivery, and includes making masks, and includes hospitals and so on, then you have a real challenge. Now, things are changing. Obviously, we're coming out of lockdown in many places around the world. And if you're stuck in lockdown, I understand. And for me, I'm in sort of self-imposed lockdown for various reasons, as I'm sure you may well be as well. But if you're older, you may have been given the push by your business, or you may have been worried by people turning around and saying, well, you know, if we're going to have to cut some people, let's start with the older ones first. Keep the younger ones because they basically cost less, they demand less, they put more into the economy because they use their credit cards for crazy stuff. And as you know, that's not fair. But here's the thing: one thing that's come from the coronavirus and the pandemic is the fact that many people going digital. Many people were thinking about having a side hustle, which is a side business that you can have as a 1.5 jobs. And if you were thinking about it, now's the perfect time to do it, especially if you've done it before. Because if you lose your one job, your point 0.5 job could be something that you could elevate and increase and turn into a proper job. Now, we'll talk in the future more about what the point 0.5 job should be. We'll probably talk about that in the next episode. But what I want to do today is share with you a couple of thoughts that may be of interest to you. If you are thinking that you're a little bit older, this is why when you're older, you can make a huge difference. Now, let me just share with you the guy, Ray Kroc, who created McDonald's. If you've seen the movie, The Founder, I think it's called. It's an incredible movie about at the age of 52. He basically created McDonald's by finding a business model. He was a salesperson and managed to upgrade it. You've also got people like the author of Harry Potter, who at a later age started creating incredible stuff. And before that, nobody's paying any attention to it. And you've got just a ton of really big names who did stuff. Take Game of Thrones, for instance, George R.R. Martin. 48 when he first started writing it. Nobody else paid attention. Morgan Freeman, he was quite old by the time his movie roles started happening. And Samuel L. Jackson, almost the same. So it's true that when you're older, you bring a ton of experience. Now, I want to share with you a couple of things here, if you are older, that will make a big difference for you. First of all, 4 points. First one, it's never too late to choose yourself. If you spent your entire time putting all your time and effort into other people's businesses, and you haven't really looked after yourself because selflessly you want to mentor and grow people and get them to where they need to be, maybe it's time to start thinking about you. You have a skill set, you have experience, you can coach, you can mentor, you can even start a business based around that, but maybe you hadn't considered it. Number 2, it's never too late to learn something new. You might think, right, my skills are too old and dead and I can never get around to doing something. Look, I've got a web TV show. It's going out to thousands of people every single day. Okay, so I was in broadcasting before. Okay, so I was in radio before. But this is different. Do you know how many people are driving this show right now? Me. Do you know how I do it? iPad. Really, Dave? Yes, really. So you have the ability to reinvent yourself and find out what your particular area is. We will spend more time on this in a separate program, but meanwhile, if you Google Ikigai or the hedgehog concept, then you'll be ahead of the game when we get around to talking about it. So there's a couple of things I want to mention. I also want to mention about the fact that lesson 3 is never too late to invest in yourself. You may have invested in everybody else so far. You may think, well, I don't need to learn anything. You should be a lifelong learner. Do you know how many people really invest in personal development? Something like 3 to 5% of people. Everybody else watches Netflix. Everybody else complains. Everybody else says there's something else going on. This is your opportunity to really turn around and say, right, I can do this. What does investing in yourself mean? Well, very simple. Look at where you want to be and find the person or the course or the training that will get you there. I train people in public speaking. I help people brand themselves and get themselves on the internet and launch their businesses. If that's of interest to you, then find somebody like me who can help you get to where you need to be. And finally, lesson 4 for anybody who's a little bit older, it's never too late to fall forward, not fall backwards, fall forward. My phrase that I always use is jump and grow wings on the way down. What does that mean? Well, very simply, you might not know exactly what you need to do, but what you can work out is if you do this and do that, there's a chance that this could happen more than the bad things could happen. So what if I learn as I go and really focus on it? I'll jump and grow wings on the way down. I've lived by that. And what it does is those tiny incremental percentages that you put into making the efforts means that your competition and your competitors and the people who are maybe your peers are left miles behind going, wow, how did you manage that? What if it had gone wrong? Yeah, but what if it would have gone right? I hope this is of use to you. I'd love to hear your comments. As always, I'll be addressing everything that comes up. Please feel free to do that. All the way through the show, by the way, I'm always interested in what you have to say. really. And what I may do is if you ask particular questions and I can't answer them in today's session, that I will dedicate a show to just going through all the different questions. So keep them coming because I love your thoughts, I love your comments. And as I'm doing this show, it really means a lot to me to know that you enjoy it. Let me know that as well, because otherwise I'm very sensitive. I'm not really, but I'd like to know. And also the things that you would like to have added to the show. If they're great suggestions, I'll do them. If they're rubbish, I won't. As always, if you're interested in knowing more about how to become a better speaker, go to speakonstage.com. I've got a whole program of things for you there. And everything from motivational speaking to getting over fear of public speaking to doing courtrooms, not courtrooms, doing boardrooms and doing presentations and creating content and also thinking of yourself as a brand and how to get yourself out there as well. If that's the kind of thing that you're thinking about, then please go to speakonstage.com. Have a look at it. Come back to me with any questions. You know how to contact me on all the different platforms, and make sure that you do subscribe, by the way, to all the different platforms that we're on. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and on Periscope and Twitter at this moment in time. So make sure you connect with that. On Instagram as well, I'd love to have your thoughts on any of those platforms. And if you miss any of the things going out live, then we will be reposting them just to make sure that everybody gets a chance to catch up on everything, because I hate to think that all this stuff gets done and you miss it. But we are going out every single day at 10 a.m. Great comments coming through, by the way. I really appreciate that. So we did promise that in a future episode, I'll be breaking it down into the nuts and bolts of how you really do reinvent yourself. But here's the thing. You may have come across the concept of blue ocean strategy. If you haven't, read the book. It's really boring. It took me forever. But the concept is very sound. The idea is that everybody's fighting in red oceans. They're not red oceans, but what they are is they're competitive and they're full of blood from people fighting, stabbing, and price wars and all this stuff that goes on. What you need is a clear blue ocean where there's no competition and you can see for miles and just plain sailing. Like being in the Maldives, my favorite place in the world. Have you been to the Maldives? I was meant to be doing a speaker training conference in the Maldives before lockdown. It was in April. Maybe we'll do it virtually. Are you interested? Watch this space. So the Blue Ocean strategy is about getting to reinvent yourself in a way that the competition aren't going, to places where they're not going, doing things that they aren't doing. Now the challenge is, what do you do, Dave? And we'll talk about that in a later stage. Who's my target audience? We'll talk about that in a later stage. And also, what if it all goes wrong? Don't worry. Okay, here's the thing. If you are worried about something going wrong, ask yourself a question. What's the worst thing that could go wrong? Now, once you've worked out, it could be I lose all my money, I get hit by my neighbor or a bus or something terrible. Whatever it is, as long as it's not a bus, that's the worst thing that could happen. Probably a house falling on you, so the Wicked Witch of Wizard of Oz. Whatever those things are, once you've pre-prepared what the worst thing could be, it can't get any worse than that. The odds are you'll lose some money, you'll make some money, and as I normally say, when you're starting a new project, it's going to cost you twice as much as you think and take twice as long as you expect. But you will get there. And like a marathon, you put one foot in front of the other and repeat. You don't have to run all 26 miles in one go. So with reinvention, just like this goldfish is just about to jump into a bowl where clearly I'm waiting to catch him, like that, you have to reinvent yourself and be bold. Go for it. What would you really like to be? If you got the opportunity, I feel like I'm going to catch a fish in my mouth now. Creepy picture. If you really could be anything you wanted to be, what would that be? In fact, even more so, put your comments. If you want help with it, I can help you. But there's tons of coaches. If you go to LinkedIn alone and put in looking for a life coach, you will get 1,000 people turn around and say, I can help you, and they'll be brilliant at it. So you don't have to do it on your own. Do you have to invest? Yes, you do. But in many cases, especially with life coaches, they barter. In many cases, they're putting in their 100 hours so they can get certified. So there is always a way of doing something. Naturally, if you want to get an expert, you pay for it, but that's a choice. You don't pay, it's not a cost, it's an investment. And that's the way I want you to think about things in the future. You do not pay for anything that has to do with your future and your success. You invest, and that makes all the difference. So with that, another wow show. Hope you enjoyed it. When I say it's wow, you're probably going, right, I need to get another coffee and biscuits. Please share it, please comment, please let people know that 10 o'clock every single day in Dubai time we'll be going live and giving you the opportunity to learn a load of new things, and if nothing else, just motivating you to head forward faster, to create bigger success, and also to be able to create the things that you truly want in life. Life is too short to mess about, it really is. You should always be doing the stuff that keeps you excited every single day. And there's actually a concept about being happy. I know people talk about happiness as a concept, and it's become a big business. You know, I can teach you happiness, and it's about work-life balance. But the bottom line is, if you look back at the times in your life when you've been happy, you've been happiest when you've done something really difficult and didn't think you'd make it, and in the end you did. That means getting out your comfort zone, working really hard towards something and achieving. That's what your happiest times in life were. Getting a job interview, meeting the partner of your dreams, finishing a project, scoring a goal, or whatever it is. Dressing for the prom. All those things are the biggest and happiest days of your life when you look back at them, so get used to creating new ones every single day. Cool? Right, I'll be back same time tomorrow. My name's Dave Crane. Feel free to Google me. Love to hear your comments and your thoughts. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Connect with me. Follow me. Whatever the friend me, befriend me on all the different platforms. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to spend more quality time with you. And if you're thinking about becoming a speaker, then this is the time to start getting your thoughts, your comments, your mindset, and your business out online. There's never been a better time than there is right now. So have an amazing day. I'll see you same time tomorrow.
My name is Dave Crane. For many years, the biggest fear of most people was to stand up in front of a live audience, speak, communicate, and motivate, and get people to like your brand, your services, and your products. Most people got it wrong, but those who did get it right were seen as leaders. And then the lockdown happened. And now everyone's communicating through different platforms and webinars. And the problem is, if they didn't learn to communicate effectively before, they're even worse now. And they lose audiences who just switch off.
And then we went digital, and the possibilities are endless. As a speaker, you can reach any amount of thousands of people, and you can share your message, you can motivate them, and you can change lives. As an event organizer, the possibilities are endless as to how big you can make an event. You don't have to worry about logistics, you don't have to worry about language. You can create something that people can watch in their own time and attend in real time at the same time. As a corporate decision maker and as the owner of a business, you can create your message, you can create a niche, you can get the people from your industry to work with you and make your tribe defined very simply just by putting it online. And what kind of events can you create? You can have a web TV show that dominates your industry and sends your message and your brand across the globe. You can invite in the very best of the industry as your special guests every single day. You can sell through Zoom calls and look after your team the same way. You can also have webinars that unite everybody and tell them about your latest product launches. You can also step into a digital world. Imagine that you could be a digital version of yourself, speaking at a virtual conference. Virtual conferences will change the game. Not only can you speak in a big auditorium where people from their laptops are all present in front of you, but you can also have spin-off rooms, meeting rooms. You can display the latest products. I can also have boardroom meetings at the same event.
You could do them in real time, but also leave all the content available for people to comment on or review at a later date. And the cost is a fraction. You can go global from your laptop. These are the possibilities that are for you, whether you're a speaker, an event organizer, a small business, or a big decision maker. You need to think about the new version of you and how that will impact your brand and take your opportunities to a brand new level. The possibilities are endless now that we're completely digital. You can be online and offline, on stage and off stage, and your speaking ability will drive your message, drive your brand, and change the world. It's time for you to now learn to speak on stage.